Hi everybody, I'm here reporting on today's game at Parkhead where Rangers were defeated 2-1 by Celtic. And first thing I'm going to do is, see this is my lucky Rangers watch, and since I've been wearing it to matches we haven't lost a game, so there it goes forever. And again you can see I'm appropriately wearing black, an apt get up after today's disastrous performance and defeat. I don't know where to start with this one. Before the game, I expected the worst, and as it turned out, it was worse than the worst. It was one of the most ridiculous performances I've ever seen by any Rangers team, even the terrible ones of the early 1980s against Celtic, home or away, but especially away. It was absolutely diabolical. My man of the match was John Lundstrom. Oh no, wait a minute, that was Celtic's man of the match. First of all, when Celtic scored in the 30th minute, he was the one who allowed O'Reilly to just run away from him. So when the ball was passed to him, he was nowhere near him and he had a free shot at goal, which this time he buried. So chalk that up to Lundstrom. Second one was the own goal that he kicked into his own net. And then the third thing he did was, just before half time, got himself sent off when he went sliding in, diving into a tackle, which wasn't needed. It was just outside the Celtic box, no danger obviously or anything. And he goes flying into it. Colm gives him a yellow card. VAR looks at it and you can see he's caught him in the ankle. So it's a red card, so no complaints there. And he trundles off with a kind of rueful expression on his face. So well done, John Lundstrom. I hope that's the last time we see you in a Rangers shirt, because you did more to affect the result than any of the Celtic players. So well done, mate. And while I'm on it, another guy I hope I never see in a blue shirt again is Barisic, because he did his usual rabbit caught in the headlights, terrified, getting rid of the ball at any opportunity, losing his markers, not closing people down, not tackling, all usual. He should never have started. And while I'm on my rant, one of my favourite sayings is, managers know nothing. And Big Phil's a good manager. Brendan's a good manager. There's all sorts of good managers, but basically they don't know any more than fans who watch the game. And I've been watching the game for 64 years, so I reckon I, along with others, never in a million years would we have set that Rangers team out to start the game today. All wrong, the selection. Barisic shouldn't have started. We know what he's like against Celtic. It should have been Yilmaz, who came on far too late. The other person who shouldn't have been playing, Tom Lawrence, too slow, no mobility. He's only good for a shot when you're winning. Probably he's not a passer who's going to open up a defence. He doesn't track back or tackle. So what a waste of space he was, and why it took so long to get him hooked, I have no idea. The other mistake was, well, apart from Drossers, we know he's useless, but the other mistake was Sterling. One of your best players gets stuck in, mobile, got a bit of speed on him, can pass the ball. No, let's stick him out on the right wing, where in the first half he was hardly noticed, because that's not his position. He should have been playing in the centre of midfield, and even more, he should have been marking McGregor, so that he didn't get the freedom of the park, which is what happened yet again. So much for managers being tactical geniuses or whatever. Any idiot would have told you, you don't let McGregor get the ball with nobody near him and give him bags of time to look up and move forward and spread the passes or have a shot at goal. So all sorts of mistakes from the manager today, not helped by obviously inferior players, poor players. As a team, we're miles behind Celtic. Individually, most of their players are better than ours. They've got quality. We don't have quality in too many positions. When you look at them, they've got the mentality, the strength, the physical and the mental strength. They go at us with pace and energy and get stuck in and chase back and get tackles in. What are we doing? Oh, we are standing off them, letting them pass it about. When somebody runs past us, we never catch them. We can't get up level with them and get in a sliding tackle. We don't even do the basics that all the wee diddy teams can do, like throwing yourself in front of shots or not letting crosses get into the box. All that we allow to happen in any game, never mind against Celtic. And obviously against Celtic it's going to be more lethal. As my heading for this show said, if anything, this was the best, worst display and result we've probably ever had against Celtic. Because at one point, you're thinking, as you watch it, this could be anything. This could be 5, 6, 7. So bad were we, so dominant were Celtic. The number of shots we allowed them to have in the first 30 minutes before they did score, unchallenged shots from the edge of the box. The goal scorer, the first goal scorer, O'Reilly, he had one that just sliced past the post. McGregor had one. Maeda, I think, had one. Kyogo had one where Butland actually had to save it. That was his first real save of the match. Oh, apart from the one in the first minute when Forrest got down the wing, just outside the box, you're screaming at the TV, block the cross, but no, he hits that across the face of the goal. It goes past Barisic, it goes past Davis. Suter's there, thankfully, but all he does is prod it towards the goal, and only Jack Butland's save stopped them scoring the first minute yet again. So all of that sort of stuff is just nonsense. How the manager can allow that to happen and repeat itself a game later is just beyond belief. So we should have been a goal down the first minute. So that summed it up. There was just more of that to come. And eventually when they did score, as I said, it was Lundstrom mainly who allowed O'Reilly to run off him into the box. The pass comes straight across the box to O'Reilly and he just fires it this time inside the post to open the scoring. That's all bad enough. 3 minutes later, as usually happens, they get another against us at Parkhead. So a long diagonal ball over the top to the left wing for Maeda. He brings it down nicely. But Tavernier's had like 10 minutes to watch this ball coming over through the air, knowing where it's going. And when Maeda brings it down, Tavernier's still 4 yards off him, just watching him. Lets him run on, still 3-4 yards away from him. He gets near the box, and then when he does try and cut it back, it goes between Tavernier's legs. But don't worry, there's John Lundstrom running back into the box. He'll save it. Oh no, he just kicks it into his own net. Brilliant. What a start. 2-0 down. And we're helping them in every possible way we can. They don't even have to be that good to create a 2-goal lead. And then quite quickly afterwards, thankfully, we thought, maybe we're back in it here, because nice bit of play by Silva. He released Barisic up the left near their byline. Nice chip into the box to the far post. Sterling did really well to get up and head it into the centre again, and there's Drossers. Even he couldn't miss from 3 feet out, just had to get his head on it and it was in the net. So imagine him scoring against Celtic, a dud like that. It just proves that Celtic's defence is a really poor defence when they're put under pressure. And unfortunately, too many times in the last couple of seasons we haven't put them under enough pressure. We've given them so much leeway. They can stroll about and look as if it's Beckenbauer at the back instead of Cartos Vickers or Scales, who's an Aberdeen level defender, but they get so much time, they can actually look better than they really are. So anyhow, 2-1, hey, nearly half time, get to half time, make changes, change the tactics, you never know, things might be turned around. And then Lundstrom goes flying into that tackle and gives VAR and wee Willie Collum a chance to look good on Monday by sending him off. So on Monday, when he goes into school, Cardinal Newman High School, and teaches RE to his Catholic pupils, they'll be cheering him to the rafters. It was the right decision, so we can't complain about that. He made the wrong decision after going to VAR in the second half, but we'll come back to that. So anyhow, 2-1, half time, it could be worse, you're thinking. And it did look for a long time as if it was going to be worse, because from the beginning of the second half, only the one substitution, Suter comes off, as I say this here. I don't know if he was injured or it was a tactical thing. I've heard people say it was tactical, others saying, oh, he was injured. But anyhow, Suter goes off, Sterling goes into the back four, McCausland comes on. And the simple change would have been, if Suter hadn't been injured, was to just put Sterling in the middle of midfield where Lundstrom had been, and take off, Lawrence, for instance, who was contributing nothing. But no, we do that change. Sterling was one of our better guys, I'll give him that. So at least that worked, kind of. But the main problem was the midfield. They were just surging through the midfield, although they had been doing that. But in the second half, for about the first 20, 25 minutes, it was all played in our half. We could hardly get up to the halfway line. But thankfully, Celtic were just at kind of walking pace almost, tapping it about, triangles, passing it from side to side, the odd through pass, the odd shot at goal. But if I'd been a Celtic fan there, I'd be going crazy. I'd be saying, why aren't we hammering these people? Why aren't we getting pace and energy and going forward instead of this casual kind of tapping it about? Carthorse, Vickers and Scales spent the first 20 minutes, I think, totally in our half, about 40 yards from our goal. That's how easy it was. They were just taking it so easy, so contemptuous. It was embarrassing. It was the worst 20 minutes maybe I've ever seen us play, because we just couldn't do anything, couldn't get the ball, couldn't get out of our half, couldn't get tackles in. Meanwhile, they're firing shots at goal, etc. And then when they did get the obligatory penalty, thankfully, when you're watching TV and you see the replays, you say, well, that's not a penalty. VAR will overturn that, because you can see that Diomande placed his foot down to the side of what's his name, O'Reilly, and he initiated the contact. He kicked the back of Diomande's leg. So it wasn't our player kicking him, it was him kicking our player. So it's not a penalty. You can see he dived after that as well. Brilliant. Willie Collum goes to the screen and comes back and keeps it a penalty. And his pupils on Monday will be saying, well done, you did your best, Willie. Who could have thought O'Reilly would miss from the penalty spot, or at least Butland saved it, but it was a poor effort from O'Reilly. So instead of being 3-1, going on 7 by the end of the game, it was still 2-1. And we hung on in there. They had so many shots at goal. I think they had 20 odd shots at goal. They only had about 8, I think, on target. I think we had 8 shots at goal and only 1 on target. Only 32% possession in a game like this that's supposed to be, two equals, battling against each other. So that the stats alone sum up. So it was just shocking. And then the last 20 minutes, we come into it, kind of made a couple of half chances. There's one where McCausland could have volleyed it, and if he'd got it right, it would have been a goal, the equaliser. But he chose to take a touch and it all petered out. But this time, Raskin was on, Roof was on, Yilmaz was on, Wright was on. He had a great run right up from his own half right into their area practically. So we needed more of that, but we weren't getting it. But of course it was all too little, too late. The last 10 minutes, funnily enough, they were hanging on. It was ridiculous. You can see how vulnerable they are when you actually put pressure on them. But when it's the last 10 minutes of a game plus 7 minutes extra, it's too late, too little, too late. We've got to have a different approach to these games, starting at the cup final in a couple of weeks' time. So terrible performance. How we got away with a 2-1 defeat, I don't know. I mean, it could have been any number upwards. It was so bad. As I say, we've got the cup final to come. What could have team he puts out against Celtic at Hampden, who knows? What sort of change in tactics he'll do, who knows? What I want to see is no Barisic starting, no Lundstrom playing. Hopefully Balogun might be fit, maybe Suter, if he was injured, he'll be fit. It's 2 weeks away, so hopefully Sima might be fit enough to give us one last game where he can cause them problems and maybe even score a goal. Cantwell, why he didn't come on today is beyond me. Lawrence was non-existent. Cantwell should be on there for his energy and his enthusiasm and his lack of fear. Lights getting stuck into them, that's what we needed. And he sat on the bench the whole game. Unbelievable. As I say, managers know nothing. The best guys obviously were Super Jack Butland in goal. He had 3 or 4 really good saves. He was the outstanding player in our team. Sterling was pretty good. Ben Davis was actually pretty good as well. And surprisingly, Silva was the best of the rest. He did quite a few good things and got stuck in mainly. So credit to him as well. The rest of them, especially our captain Tavernier, cowering at the back, losing his marker, his man, not marking him, not tackling, not getting forward, poor passes forward. He was just pathetic, and that's your captain as well. Compare him to Callum McGregor. That's what you want as a captain. He doesn't even have the sense to go up and moan at the referee when they foul us like McGregor does. He just takes everything, just accepts it. Body language just shows you he's accepting defeat. So he had a shocker as well. And Diamandi losing the ball, easily brushed aside, committing silly fouls. How he didn't get booked is beyond me. We didn't even have one player booked, but I think 3 Celtic guys got booked. So that's strange statistic, that one. Lundstrom had an absolute howler of a 45 minutes, not even a game. Ditto Lawrence. So we hardly had a success. There was 3 or 4 guys I would say you can hold your heads up. The rest of them should be ashamed of themselves. And how we're going to change this around in 2 weeks, I just don't know. But we've got to have a different starting lineup with different tactics, and hopefully a couple of injured guys might be back in time to play that. So onwards and downwards, that's my motto for today.